Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, where I've been working here on this Marine Division template. I say I've been working on it. As usual, I found it online. So all credit to the original creator of that, who I should probably find out who that was, but it was on the Paradox forums. So I'm sure you could find it, but this is the overall concept. It's focused heavily on soft attack. And the important thing about Marines, of course, is that they can disembark from non-naval-based provinces. So in the case of a failed invasion, like the one we had in Spain, we wouldn't have the one up here. We wouldn't have stack wipes. So that's good. Now the question is, what is our support, or rather our specialist company soft cap? Or I guess cap? There is a cap to the number of these that we can make. So we definitely want to make some Marines, and we'll get those training. I'm going to queue up as many of them as we can, though. If we go into our technology, I believe we can see what the cap of those are. So these are our special forces here. That just upgrades our Marines, right? It gives us more soft attack, more organization. That's not really what we're looking for. What we're really looking for is the number of specialist infantry. And that used to be located somewhere down here. I'm not sure exactly where it is now. I think it might be in the doctrines at this point for the specialists. Or under naval, perhaps. Maybe it's... I don't think it's under naval support. I have no idea where they've moved this to. It used to exist. Definitely. But it's in here somewhere, I'm sure. I don't know how many we can have. That's the takeaway. So we should train as many as we can until the game tells us that we can't anymore, I guess. So we're going to add a bunch of these lines. It's not letting us queue up any more than 41. Okay, I don't want to make 41 of these. I'm going to cap this out at 24, since that's a full army size. We'll do something like that. That'll be okay. I don't want to make any more than one of these. So we're just going to do this once, and we're going to make 24 Marines. That'll be absolutely fine. Now, I was thinking about the path that I had outlined for our invasion of South America previously, and I was thinking, yes, this is a great jumping off point. This allows us to get rid of... Well, it actually doesn't, does it? Because I was going to say this allows us to get rid of one C-zone. But does it? I mean, I'm still going to do this because we're this far in the progression on it. But thinking about it, we could go like this over here in the C-zones. So this doesn't actually prevent a C-zone going this way. It would make it a lot easier to attack down here. So that opens up new opportunities, for sure. I'm going to tell these guys to go as soon as they're ready. They're not ready yet, obviously. And I was thinking about the outline that I had laid out over here. Previously, I was saying we attack Puerto Rico, use that as a base to attack Cuba, and then come down and attack Venezuela from the north, and then try to push in over here while simultaneously attacking this direction. And that would work. But I'm wondering what exactly the point of the Puerto Rico attack is in that outline. So that'll add in a bunch of time because we'd have to launch an attack from here to here when it's the exact same number of C-zones to hit Cuba and just use Cuba as our jumping off point. So that's, I think, a better option. But that is, of course, in the future. We've got this medium tank template. We'll put it here. And that's all we've got there. Okay, that sounds good. So let's tick forward here, and I want to check to see how we're doing navally over here in the African coast. Okay, so these guys have not managed to head out over here yet. Abort that task. Come on over. Fantastic. So they'll split off anyone who's too wounded. They were very close to being repaired, but I want to bring them over and just make sure that we have the naval supremacy here. Now, we're going to need to attack... Okay, naval range is going to be an issue out over here. We could technically make it here. That might change our plan. I feel like this would be a tough attack for us to do. But we could come down this way and only have 2 C-zones. That would be a lot easier for us navally. So I think that may not be a bad idea. I'm going to move this guy in here, absolutely. And how are we doing on the training of these Marines? Okay, they're at 8%. That is not shocking at all. Taking a look at what we've got here, we've got all of the supplies that they need. Looks good. So they are about establishing a beachhead and not really much else. We'll need to follow them up with infantry and tanks once we get there, with the infantry being defenders and the tanks being attackers. That's the overall concept anyway. So we'll see how that ends up going, but first we need to get this done. Now, I'm hoping that we'll have our Marines done for the attack down here. This is a level 1 naval base. This is a level 3 naval base, but this is not a viable attack for us. We can attack this level 1 naval base in Brazil, and we can see how that ends up going. We do see that they have a fair number of units here. So we'll see about this. This may or may not happen, but this will actually help us quite a lot if the plan is actually to directly attack Brazil. Which it may well be, now that I look at that. So that seems okay. We're going to be launching this attack in about 12 days. Okay, sure. Hopefully these storms will have cleared up by then. For the time being, of course, we've got this infantry division, and he's going to go right on over here. Straight into that defense force. Looks good. So that is all looking absolutely fine. I'm not concerned about this little bit of Spain here. We could definitely think about attacking down here. Can we even reach that navally? No, okay. So we would have to have better ships. We could do that, but that would involve, you know, investing time in our navy. I know we went and did all of the research, but, ugh, navies. Disgusting. So we're going to be attacking over here shortly. That'll be fine. And our Marines will be prepared by the time we're ready for our next invasion. I'm pretty sure. They are currently 24% trained. Yeah, this will be fine. No problem whatsoever. They're going to be completely ready to go on 29 December. Yeah. So we have launched this attack. This storm still exists. This storm does too. Oh, they're gone now. Okay, fantastic. So we're going to attack here. And yes, we are taking attrition. We'll see how this goes. This is not necessarily going to be the finest attack in the world. Okay. We are currently winning, and we were estimating that it would last for under a day. Wow, 36 divisions? There's apparently 36 divisions from Spain here. Okay, that's insane. Why are there 36 divisions here? Wild. Okay, so this attack is going to fail. I did not expect there to be 36 divisions here. Yeah, it's definitely going to fail, right? Are we stack wiping any of these yet? I don't think so. Actually, they're down to 33 divisions. We are stack wiping them. They're out of supply. I think this is going to win. Wild. I mean, yeah, they wouldn't have any supply here. There's not even a naval base. So that's obviously going to be a problem for us. But wiping out 33 divisions from Spain there is nice. We're definitely okay with that. So we're going to need to immediately begin work on a naval base here. That is of vital importance. Absolutely. We can also work on infrastructure here, anti-air guns. Probably a radar station here would be reasonably useful. This is significantly outside of our Spanish radar. So that'll be fine. Getting that naval base constructed, and do we want an air base here too? Yes, we do. We're going to put an air base in there, and that'll all be absolutely okay. What else are we going to need? I mean, not really much of anything. We could build some civilian factories here, I guess, and that seems fine. So we'll get that going. These guys are going to need to be transferred out, but because there's no naval base there right now, they can't be. So we can't remove these units until at least level 1 of this naval base finishes in a month. So that'll be fine. They're just stuck there for the moment. But I don't expect there to be any significant issues. For one thing, we have naval control of the area, and so they can't launch any invasions anytime soon. So that'll be okay. This infantry division is real infantry, isn't it? We're going to move those out over here. Looks good. And we have our Special Forces Doctrine ready to go here. So is this indicating how much our capacity is? That's our naval invasion capacity. Okay. Well, we can definitely get more organization for our Marines, as well as getting additional Marines unit design cost reduction, which is not helpful at this stage, but that's okay. So we're going to head down that way, and then we're probably going to look for... We have flame tanks in our Marines right now. Breakthrough is there. That's a thing that exists. Amtrak battalions, we're not utilizing those. So we would probably end up going this way. Yeah, I would think so. So Special Forces capacity is something that I am not entirely sure where we're at. But as long as we can have 24, that's all we need for the time being. I'm not going to have any paratroopers for right now. I'm not going to have any... What's the third one? Actually, I can't remember the name of the third one. Mountaineers. That's it. We've got plenty of Mountaineers from our vassals, so I'm not concerned about that. That should be absolutely fine in theory, although their templates probably suck. I mean, our templates probably suck too, so that's absolutely fine. Templates are the thing I'm particularly bad in this game with, and that is something I definitely recognize. So our airbase is done here. Our level 1 naval base is, or not done. Our first 2 levels of airbase is done here, though, before we even get 1 level of naval base. Naval bases are slow to build. No doubt about that. But that's absolutely fine. There's no problem here whatsoever. We're making solid progress here. All of this infrastructure is just barely beginning to be worked on. We really do want to get this infrastructure done, though. Okay. We could definitely continue to use these naval bases in Alaska. These land forts in Outer Manchuria are really not necessary anymore. Let's cancel those, and then we've got a bunch of railway upgrades, which is fully expected. That is mostly just things that we're going to do when we don't have other things to do. It's low priority actions. So we're going to get these guys sorted in here for now. That looks good. Okay. So we have successfully invaded out over here, right? We're waiting on this naval base to finish. That will be done in about 5 days. Where are we on those Marines? They are 67% trained at this point. Okay. So they're going to be done in a little bit over a month. We could early deploy them. That is definitely an option. But I don't think I'm going to. I don't think we have a reason to. So this naval base is finished, and I want these guys to make their way back over here. We are abandoning this position for right now because there's very little supply flow over here, right? And we don't want to hold this other than navally. We're going to make sure that there's no naval contestation of this area, and that will prevent any invasions here. But we are going to end up stationing our Marines there, and that's okay. So, that is all absolutely fine, and a lot of these guys don't have orders. They're going to get moved over to Brazil after this invasion goes off. So we're going to need to take this position, fortify, well, take the position, expand it a little bit, fortify, and bump up our naval bases over in this area, and then bring in our defenses, right? That's the idea. Very similarly to how we pulled it off in Spain. Very, very similar. Now, we might have issues, but that's the benefit of doing it with Marines. We're not going to lose the Marines because we can just disembark from anywhere, even if we don't control a naval base. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. So that is absolutely fine. It's currently the 13th of December, and we just finished up this infantry division, or rather, our vassal did. We'll send him off over here for now. Cool. So we're still working on getting these garrison/reserve forces ready to go. I mean, we're technically still working on our armor forces. So that is all absolutely fine. We're at 16.61 million manpower. I believe we are currently manpower positive. I mean, that's 30k recruitable monthly growth. That said, we probably went down briefly because recruiting 24 divisions of Marines simultaneously is a lot of troops. Each one of these is 11,000 manpower. Yeah, that was definitely a lot. No doubt about that. The basic amphibious tractor has finished up, and that is a useful thing to do, for sure. We're going to get the improved Amtrak. There we go. And these two infantry divisions are going to hop in over here. So these are now all even. I mean, they're not going to have very good coverage, but they are even, so that looks good. BTR finishes up, and we can continue to work on various researches over here. There we go. So, Who all are we fighting again here? I want to check in on these numbers. Okay, so Brazil has 106 to 261. Any way we slice it, we have a significant numerical advantage. That is good. In this existing war, anyway. Now, if the rest of the world decides to hop in, problems could ensue. No doubt about that. Particularly with this border with France here. That's going to get spicy. And Britain, we're going to have a bit of a hard time dealing with our Navy in as crappy of a state as it's in. Now, the state of our Navy is a doable state for right now. I want to check in on our naval range over here now that we have this naval base built, though. It is significantly better out here. So we now could attack this naval base, which is a level 3 naval base. It would involve control of one additional sea zone. So I think we'll try this one first. If this fails, we can go after this one. That would be the overall concept anyway. I want to get these guys out of the Iberian coast. We're not too concerned about that. We want to go begin contesting the Cape Verde Plain. So we're going to head down there. That looks good. Next, I want to check in, how close are we to getting these guys done? Okay, it's really, really close. They're at 98%. Looks like this got delayed to 1 January, but it's 1 January right now. So they should get deployed imminently. There we go. So now we have our 24 Marines. We're going to put all of these 24 Marines into here. There we go. This is all going to be Marines, and we're going to promote in a new Field Commander, which is going to be... It'll cost 65. We don't have the command power to do this. So we're basically at our cap right now. Okay. In that case, I'm going to redirect this guy over to here. So Fyodor Chibisov. We're going to put him in here. And who is that? That is this guy. So he is currently cautious. Planning speed minus 20%. Maybe we don't want him. So this guy instead. He is reckless. That's actually good. We want that planning speed to be increased. There's a good chance that he gets wounded in combat, but he's who we're going to put in over here. I didn't have him selected. Okay, this guy. Yes, reassign him. Cool. So he is now reassigned. That'll be fine. He's en route. He'll arrive in 15 days. Now, I want to hop down over here, and I want to plan a naval invasion from here, as I said before, to here. This is not necessarily the finest location in the world for us to attack, but it is the most viable location with the sea zones in mind. No, I don't want to draw an order with that tool. Okay. I don't know what button I pressed there, but that's fine. This armored division is going to hop in here for now. Looks good. And we are currently lacking chromium still. Now, we are ramping up our chromium production from the Iberian Peninsula, and that will be absolutely fine. If we look at our resource map mode, we can see we are going to get 6 more over here as the compliance ramps up. Unfortunately for us, that's only 6, and that's not fantastic. Do we have the ability to do any exploitation of resources or development of resources? No, I think they might have removed that from the game. I haven't seen that in quite a long time. So that is definitely something to think about. I would like to work on bringing up our war support and or our stability. So this is just war support. This is weekly war support enemy bombing. This is weekly war support from combat casualties. And this is just raw weekly war support. Okay. Diversifying our elite forces will add a free special forces branch specialism. Okay. And that's not actually all that helpful for us. What I really want right now is to gain some stability. Actually, we have some spare military factories right now. Improved worker conditions might not be a bad idea at this exact moment. How long would that last? 6 months? That could come back to bite us once this front opens. Speaking of which, there's a lot of rubber down here. There is some chromium as well. There is quite a lot of resources that we're going to be able to get by conquering South America, or the majority of South America. So that looks good. I think for now, all we're going to do is utilize the domestic film industry and just gain 10% base war support. A masterpiece. Fantastic. So that puts us at 59%. Now, I want to check in here. How are we doing on the enemy bombing and the combat casualties? The enemy bombing is not that big of a deal. The combat casualties are. So we're going to exert heroism, and that'll keep going for a while. So that sounds good. No problem whatsoever there. These Marines are going to arrive over here eventually, and how long is it going to take them to prepare this? It's still going to be 126 days. So, well, it actually might change once this guy arrives in 5 days. He's not giving bonuses yet. And we might have to recreate that after he arrives, but I don't think we'll have to. But he'll arrive in 4 days, so that seems good. Where are our Marines right now? Okay, they've embarked. They're on their way. So that looks good. I just want to see when he arrives here. He's 1 day away. 0 days away. Okay, there he is. So this is still 15 out of 126 days. Interesting. And it is ticking on the day tick. Okay, I'm going to try deleting this order and placing it again. We might end up losing a couple of days here, but that's okay. That's not the end of the world. I just want to see if this works. So we place that, and it's still 126. Okay, so apparently that planning does not include naval invasions. That is good to know. Now that we know that, we can just move on with our lives. So let's research the BA-64. We don't have any other researches to do for the moment. This armored division should go here. We do see that these guys are taking attrition as of right now. So I'm going to tell these guys, for now, to just frontline this border with France. That'll be fine. And for the time being, these guys, who mostly... I don't think any of these have orders, to be honest. Or if they do, they're useless orders. We're going to tell them to come frontline with Portugal, for the time being. So our army is going to remain in Iberia for right now, other than our reserve forces. And we'll shift them down soon enough. So Western Andalusia is only a level 1 naval base. That's understood. I do want to research something in here, and that is going to be paratroopers too. This is mostly just to keep the slot busy. That will be absolutely fine. So I want to check in on the naval situation down here. Wow, we are not being contested down here. Oh, we are a little bit. Okay, that's noted. So it's 62.3 right now, 65.1. Yeah, we'll be able to make our way through there. Now, if we were to move some of these planes, which are currently here, I'm going to grab all of our air wings that are here, and all of these air wings want to move to this base. So over they head. Fantastic. And that gives them this range. That's not a particularly useful range, to be honest. I'd hoped to be further down over here. We can barely reach this, but I guess we can work on it. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit grim. But we can try that. Who controls this? Portugal. Okay, we're not at war with Portugal. We do see that there are some units here, which is absolutely expected. We expect them to be defending their coast fairly vociferously, for sure. We're going to put this guy in over here. It seems good. Okay, and we're back up to 19 days here, so we've now lost no time on this. We're back to where we were. So we can see that these guys are taking attrition here. That is absolutely noted. This is a level 3 naval base in the Canary Islands, and that is going to continue to ramp up. Using this as our jumping off point to attack South America is going to be a little bit challenging because of the supplies here. We knew that, and that is also the reason why we're interested in having Marines be here, right? So that is going to help our supply situation, but the supply situation is not going to be amazing here. Demanded supplies are apparently 6.7. And we can see that our resource bottleneck here is Granada to Santa Cruz. So this is coming from Granada, which is itself a level 3 naval base. We should really ramp that up. So I'm going to bump that up to a level 10 naval base, but that will take time to construct. We'll get that underway. Okay. So Granada is the naval base that is currently supplying this. We'll need that to be a higher level naval base as well. Seems fine. So we'll just let this continue to go up. Yes, we are definitely seeing this organization drop here because we're out of supply. We'll see what they end up capping at, but it's going to be grim here. We knew that. We absolutely knew that. So we have a medium tank template, which goes here. We have an armored division, which goes here. Perfect. I want to check in and make sure these guys aren't taking heavy attrition in this area. There's some attrition. And to that end, we could take a look down over here and get like this supply hub motorized. That will help matters, for sure. This supply hub could be motorized as well. And we could do the same over here. So that will definitely help our supply situation out over here. We just don't want to be taking attrition where we can help it, right? Checking in on Portugal. It looks okay. No major problems there. Okay, so we've got an armored division and these infantry divisions. The armored division goes here, and the infantry, of course, go out into our infantry reserve. Looks good. I don't want to launch this attack yet because of the supply situation out over here. I mean, we can't launch it yet anyway. We still have a number of days before that's ready to go. These guys get sorted in. Here is fine. Okay. So that looks absolutely okay. When is this going to be done? As a hypothetical, I'm wondering about these locations. It would be the same 2 sea zones here, or 2 sea zones here to threaten in the south. That's an interesting option if this invasion fails. We'll think about that. For the time being, getting down here would be complicated because there's 3 sea zones, but we definitely could think about that. Let's grab Rocket Artillery Upgrade 2 for the moment, and this unassigned division goes here. Fantastic. So that all looks great. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to see how this ends up going. We would be very, very delighted to get a toehold on the South American continent. That would be very useful. Supply is definitely getting a lot better here. With the organization actually came back up to max. That's perfect. So 4 naval base levels is all we needed here. Ideal. So that'll be absolutely great. We'll get this launched next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kintogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.